So are you ready for it? So here is all the stuff that I collected when I was just a little girl. I was a little bit obsessed with Snoopy, as you can see. So basically from roughly about 3 or 4 years old, I started collecting anything whatsoever to do with Snoopy and Woodstock and Peanuts. But as you can see by the collection, it was really Snoopy that I was quite obsessed with, really. And like as a really tiny little girl, I just didn't really play with these things. I just kept them really clean and really sort of precious. It's a little bit strange. As a 4-year-old, I wouldn't let anybody touch my Snoopy stuff or breathe on it or look at it or anything. So I thought that I'd just show you a few of these items that I collected. I literally spent all my spending money. I think, I don't know how much I got, probably about 50p a week or something, but I collected my stuff just over a few years, really, probably from about the age of 4 or 5 to probably roughly about 8 years old. So I think, you know, like it really shows the kind of merchandise and stuff that was out there in the 70s. I was born in 1971, so I probably collected from around about 1975 onwards. So as you can see here, the price of the book, a Snoopy dot to dot book, was 35p in those days. This is how sort of strange I was as a child, because I didn't do any of the things. I just kept it really nice. I wouldn't let anybody touch it. I didn't put any drawings in them myself. This was a sticker that I bought. I think I may have bought that in France. As you can see from the age of it, it's quite dirty and worn now. Likewise, like I bought loads of sort of bits of toiletries. These are all the soaps that I bought from a shop in my hometown that was a bit like a card shop and a gift shop, but they had this amazing range of Snoopy memorabilia and merchandise. And I'd be the first down there on a Saturday morning when my dad gave me my spending money, and I'd be begging my dad, if I couldn't afford one of these nice exciting things, I'd be begging, please, can I have this, can I have this? Anyway, fortunately I had a very kind dad, so he allowed me to have most of the things that I wanted within reason. So again, I'm just going to show you this. I think this little book here was the first thing that I bought, actually. Writing is hard work. So that's quite interesting. I'm sure a lot of people will be able to appreciate that. As you can see, I mean, I'm still a bit same now because I had a bit of an obsession with stationery back then as well. In here you can see, like, I didn't touch any of these things. I just kept them in the wrappers and really neat and tidy. So there were bits and pieces that I collected, say from a car boot sale. I think that was actually from a car boot sale. You know, just bits and pieces that I saw along the way, really. This is really fascinating, this thing. This is like a clutch bag, which is just covered in Snoopy's. So I really loved that. Again, I think I might have got that from a car boot sale. But most of the other stuff is, you know, brand new from the shops. So these were particularly one of my favourite things. These are all my Snoopy figurines. And I absolutely loved these. I don't know how much they were, probably about 99p or something. But I was absolutely obsessed. And I collected every single one. And I was so disappointed if I go down to the shop, which was called Studio 4. And they didn't have any new ones in. You know, it was ones that I already had. So I was incredibly disappointed. On a Saturday morning, had to be consoled. So this one actually is my favourite one. I absolutely loved this. I don't know why. I've always had a little bit of an obsession with detective stories as well. And this one, oh my God, I just loved it so much, and I still do. It's still my favourite one. I think my second favourite was this one, the little one in his nightgown. I just love that one so much because I like to sleep in bed. So moving along, this was my Peanuts Jubilee book, and like as a kid I couldn't, you know, I didn't really understand a lot of the philosophy behind Peanuts, and you know, this sort of, it's quite grown up really, but I just loved the pictures and the characters that were there. And as you can see from like these early days, you've got Charlie Brown and Lucy, and you know, it's just so beautifully done. And then, you know, as the time goes on, basically you can see how the characters developed and became more sophisticated. You know, a lot of it is obviously quite philosophical, and a lot of comedy in it, but you know, I understood like the simple parts of it. But say something like this, I wouldn't have been able to read at that age, you know, sort of 5 or 6 years old. So basically, as the book goes on, it does show how much it developed and how new characters came in, I mean, I just absolutely loved this relationship between Snoopy and Woodstock. This was what I was just absolutely obsessed with. And I definitely think that it kind of gave me this very innocent and naive look about friendship and relationships. I think in the schoolyard it probably helped me to make friends and appreciate other people's emotions. You've got Patsy there. So here are some pictures on how Charles Schulz created his comic strip. So, I mean, it's really fascinating the way that he developed. So he's doing his script first and then drawing in his Snoopy around the speech bubbles. So, I mean, what a talented guy, and how much of an impact he had on, you know, not even just American culture, but on British culture, looking at how obsessed I was with it as just a tiny child. So, yeah, I love the way that Snoopy kind of had these other characters, so he became like the Red Baron, and it's just beautiful. I just really loved it, the simple colours and the simple shapes. And just the expression, I suppose, you know, with just a few lines, it's so clever the way that he managed to create these wonderful characters. So, as you can see, yeah, I mean, I collected everything I kept. Somebody gave me a birthday card or some wrapping paper, or even like the paper bags that I got from the shop. I mean, I think these were, you know, sort of circa 1975, 1976 maybe, that they were, you know, when I went and bought one of these little figurines, they'd pop it in one of these bags for me, so I kept all this. I think I was the best customer. So here, just to finish off, is my own homage to Charles Schulz and Snoopy, and I made this at primary school. We had to make a Christmas folder, and obviously I made it, and I think I must have been in about class 5. I mean, I was only an infant at that point. So I don't know how I did this actually. I've obviously like drawn it, or I've cut out some kind of a shape and then drawn around it. You can see here my little Christmas trees with an angel on top and Snoopy, and up there with presents. I would have been hoping for more Snoopy stuff in my Christmas stocking. This here, this little gnarled up dirty little thing, is a mat that I sewed. I think I did that at home, probably with my granny, with some felt. And here is a badge that I made with Linus. So I proudly made this, and I would have worn this all the time, I'm sure. Also, my grandma made me, she knitted me a Snoopy jumper, which I just wore all the time. And basically, this was what I spent my childhood spending all my spending money on, and what I love so much, and it still influences me today. I absolutely adore his work, and you know, I think that it's a real kind of tribute to the quality and you know, the love that he put into these characters, that, you know, a 5-6-year-old child in a town on the, you know, virtually on the other side of the world is just obsessed with and spending all her dad's money on. So that's it. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Bye.